because there's always awesome. I am super excited today because I am going to be teaching you guys one of my favorite strategies. I have done this strategy for the last 4.5 years. I not only built my business on this strategy, but it is the strategy that a lot of agency clients come to me for, and a lot of my private clients inside my Lean on Laurel program. Of course, there's always going to be my phone going off in the background. It happens as soon as you hit record. So we'll let that finish. More people are coming in. I'll add it. Let me let a couple more people in. Okay, that is it for people coming in. Cool. Right back on track. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys a strategy that my agency clients come to me for, my Lean on Laurel students come to me for. This is a strategy that is not based on any guesswork. This is the exact same strategy that I myself built my business on. And if you think that you have to have a large budget in order to make this happen, I'm going to prove you wrong, okay? Because we can get really good results with Facebook ads without having to spend a fortune, okay? So what we're gonna do is we are gonna start, I'm gonna go a little high level, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys, and I've got the strategy right here on my whiteboard. I'm gonna pull it out here in the next couple of minutes. But here's the thing, my strategy is gonna be super, super easy. But if you guys don't understand the fundamentals that I'm about to show you, it's not gonna work. And that's the reason why a lot of people aren't getting results, whether it's with my program, with other coaching program. If you don't understand the basic fundamentals and what's going on in the market right now, right? Because we have a lot of friction going on in the market. The market is not the same as it was just 2 years ago. And so I have my little notes here. So bear with me. I actually thought that this quote right here was the perfect way to start this training today. So I give credit where credit is due. It is from CCA, my mentor's certification program. They call this the preponderance of data. And humans love to turn a single data point into a trend, okay? Now, what do we mean by that? Humans love to turn a single data point into a trend. Well, right now, the hot topic, Bitcoin, right? A lot of people are like, Bitcoin has gone into the shitter, right? How many of you guys have heard that over the last several weeks that Bitcoin is just completely going down and it's no good and it's a bad investment? Is it actually a bad investment? Or are they actually basing that off of a trend? Right? They're basing it off of a single data point. Like if you look at the chart from Bitcoin from 2017 to now, if you invested in Bitcoin over a large period of time, you're going to be very happy with your investment. Now, if you invested in Bitcoin back in November when it was at the all-time high, you're probably going to be hating life right now. But they're basing it on a single data point, right? All of these people who got into the crypto space because everyone else was doing it and Bitcoin was going up. But if you actually look at the trend, it's going up, okay? So I'm gonna tie that into what's happening right now in the coaching space, okay? I have a student, super successful 2 years ago when it came to selling her coaching program. Multiple six figures, okay? Multiple six figures. And then all of a sudden, at the end of, as we're trailing off into 2022, what happened? There's a lot of people who have now come into the coaching space, right? That are now teaching things that they learned in coaching programs. And so there is a flood of people coming into the coaching space. And so right now, her business doesn't look so good. I say this because she's thinking that, well, maybe my offer, I don't know why my offer is not converting. It was converting, 2 years ago whenever I first launched it. I say this because we have to know this about our business and understand it. That just like Bitcoin and investing trends happen in our business. Like my business has been a business for about 4.5 years. And I have seen so many people come and go in this business because they look at their business as a single data point and not a trend. The reason that I'm talking about this right now is because things have gotten harder. The iOS update has rolled out. There's more coaches in the market space than ever. And we have to understand that this is all part of a single data point in the whole history of our business. I'll give you another example. So I have a client who does financials, right? They're CPAs. Think about this. Right now, their funnel isn't converting very well. Why is that? Because it's not tax season. So if we're looking at their funnel from right now, as we're standing in June, of course their business is gonna be down. But where is it gonna start picking up again? End of the year, right? When people are trying to get their end of year tax deductions and all of that, going into tax season. So they're gonna make a ton of money during the beginning of the year. And so my whole point in starting this training out like this is getting you to understand that we have to look at our business in the way of a trend. Like, I don't think that my business, and I've had my business for about 4.5 years now, I don't think it has been through a full true business cycle. So if I am gauging my business from where it is right now to where it was last year to the year before, I still think that I've got some ways to go before I can start identifying the trends in my full cycle of business. And so that's the first thing that we have to understand, is that just because right now the market is a little hard, that does not mean that we cannot be successful. And today, that's what that training is going to be about. I am going to help you figure out the black holes in your marketing so that you can start to get better results, okay? And so this is one of my favorite, this is actually one of my favorite examples, okay? Because this is what's going on in the marketplace. And this is one of my absolute favorite stories. And it's from a book called How to Fly a Horse, okay? So let me ask you guys this question, okay? So there was a study that was done, right? And they sent all of these planes out to war, right? And they wanted to figure out where the best place to put armor on those planes to make sure that they were safer for the people going out with them, right? And so as they were trying to figure out where to put that armor, planes were coming here, and they had bullet holes in them, right? And some of them had them on the wings, some of them had them on the doors, some of them had them on front of the planes, right? If they wanted to put armor on those planes to protect the people in the planes, where should they put the armor? Let me know, where should they put the armor? Remember, there's bullet holes in the doors, there's bullet holes in the front of the plane, there's bullet holes on the wings. Where should they put the armor? What I'm about to say, okay, is the reason that a lot of people in the online space are failing. So someone says where the bullet holes are. Everyone's telling me that we should put the armor where the bullet holes are. We're not looking at the right data. All of those planes returned home safely. We need to go look at the planes that crashed and burned. All of those planes came home safely. So where the bullet holes happened, those planes are cool. Those are good, right? And so we need to look at the right data. And that is where a lot of coaching programs are leading you guys in the wrong direction. And that's what today's training is going to help you guys figure out. Where do you actually need to be? What is the data that you actually need to look at? Exactly, D. Orlando, Dr. Fortune, you have to look at the right data and not fix what's not broken, okay? So today I'm gonna ask you to guys think in a different way, okay? Because this is where a lot of gurus, and yes, I made notes today because this is such an important training today that we're gonna get philosophical, we're gonna get deep, but these are all things that you have to understand as to why the strategy works when a lot of other stuff doesn't, okay? Because looking at the wrong data points is what's wrong with a lot of the information that is going around. So today we're going to think in a little bit different way, okay? A lot of the gurus that I was watching a few years ago were making way more money than me in a short period of time. But now, as I look at my business over the last 4.5 years, it is completely gone up. It hasn't gone up in the fast and sexy way, but it has gone up in the slow and steady way. And so today, we're going to talk about why my Microstep marketing approach has helped me be able to have a sustainable business over the last several years. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because a lot of you guys think that it has to be so freaking complicated. How many of you guys ever joined a coaching program and they were like, you need to build a lead magnet, you need to build a webinar, you need to build this, you need to build this? How many of you guys, let me know, how many of you guys have ever joined a program and you're being taught to build a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff, okay? And so what we need to understand, okay? What we need to understand, and a lot of my students in my program who've been here with me for a while, they're gonna know the answer to this question, but what is actually the fastest path to cash? What is the fastest path to cash? I see a lot of people doing like conversations. Yes, y'all have been paying attention the last several weeks. Conversations are the fastest path to cash. And so what do a lot of business gurus make us do? You got to build a lead magnet that leads to this, that leads to this, that leads to this, that leads to this. What are we doing when we build this big old funnel? Yes, we're putting a lot of roadblocks into those conversations, okay? We're putting all of these friction points, right? How many of you guys would much rather have a messenger conversation than an email address? Day in and day out, I would rather have a messenger conversation than collect an email address. And so a lot of people are like, well, Laurel, I don't understand why you're doing power content. We're not sending people anywhere. Isn't that a waste of money? I was told that, like, so for those of you guys who've been with me a while, I started my business 4.5 years ago. And I started teaching my power content strategy 4.5 years ago. Have you guys noticed my strategy hasn't changed at all? Like if you guys go back and watch my videos, a lot of people are like, is the information in this program correct? Because this video was shot 3-4 years ago. No, my strategy hasn't changed because it works. And so I'll tell you guys a little story actually. So 3.5 years ago, I started my very first version of what's the Lean on Laurel program now. And it was this 45-day ads accelerator program. So instead of doing monthly, I just did 45 days, taught the course. And I had one student who I sent to an agency. I was like, hey, you're ready? Like she didn't feel like doing the ad. So I gave her to an agency that I knew. I didn't really know much about the person, but I kept seeing their ads. I'm like, okay, they seem to know what they're talking about. And I kept hearing this over and over, because I even had an agency client tell me after they came back from Funnel Hacking Live, well, this person told me that you're wasting my money. I kept hearing that a lot. Like all of these gurus kept telling my clients that I'm leading them astray, and that I'm just, by using my power content strategy, I was wasting their money. Some clients left, total transparency. They believed everything else. Who do you think came running back whenever the iOS update happened? Who do you think's clients were very happy that I had been doing that power content strategy? Because what is power content able to do that the Pixel can't? Right? Whenever we get people to watch video, it's an on-platform action. The agency clients that I had were very freaking thankful. They were some of their only people in their circle of friends that had a converting ad strategy when the iOS update happened. And I'm not saying that to brag, or well, I am. I'm going to kind of pat myself on the back because my strategy is a freaking awesome one. For those of you guys who don't know, I have a television background, so I do things very, very different. I worked almost 2 decades in television. I know, I just aged myself. I just turned 40. I started in television in 2002. I've been doing this stuff for a very, very long time. And so I saw internet marketing come in, like I've been doing marketing way before like internet marketing was even a thing. So I have a very good understanding of how to do 2 things and 2 things only. How to get people's attention and how to keep it. My very first job in television, I know, forgive me, some of you guys have heard this story before, was to get people to watch the 11 o'clock news. You know how hard it is to get people to watch the 11 o'clock news? They're fighting sleep. They're fighting all kinds of stuff. Their partner wants to have sex. You know, their favorite show has just wrapped up. It's 11 freaking o'clock. They're ready to go to bed. And so it was my job whenever I worked for CBS, as soon as the credits, I'll use CSI as an example. CSI was a huge show back whenever I worked in television. It was my job to get people to not pick up their remote and turn off the TV as soon as the credits rolled. I had 10 seconds to not only get people to not click that remote, I had to keep them over a 3-minute break. So I had to grab their attention, I had to keep it. Now here's one of the, I'll actually tell you guys one of the promos that I ran just to kind of show you guys as an example, because I think this is going to connect some dots when it comes to your power content and getting people's attention. So the news story of the night, this one night, was a water main break. You guys have ever had a water main break? It's nice video, water shooting out, right? I had to write 10 seconds of copy that was going to make people not grab the remote and stay through a commercial break, right? If I say next at 11, we have this really awesome video of a water main break. Who the frick cares? Tune in at 11. No one's going to do that. I had to create value for my viewers. I had to dig deeper, okay? I had to dig deeper. And so what I figured out, I had to deconstruct, okay, a water main break. It's on the major road. If they don't get this fixed in the morning, what's going to happen? A lot of my viewers are going to be late to work. And so I wrote the copy, I said next at 11, for those of you guys who have to take 8:10 in the morning, I'm going to show you why you're going to want to set your alarm clock an hour early or you'll be late for work. Find out what's going on next at 11. You see what I did there? I didn't just say, hey, there's a water main break. I found the value that my audience could take away. If you guys can learn how to get people's attention and truly show the value, right? A lot of you guys are doing videos that are telling them about the water main break, okay? A lot of you guys are teasing the water main break when that's not the actual value that you're bringing to your audience. You're just showing them the big flashy thing, right? Yes, of course the video is big and there's water shooting everywhere, but what is the real value that you're bringing to your audience, okay? So I figured that I would open our little training with this, okay? So how do we figure out the best way to get our audience's attention? And what is your discovery call accelerator strategy? How do we create these micro steps so that we can get closer to our audience in order to have more conversations? And I'm going to promise you guys that it's not going to be just creating a whole bunch of content. We're going to learn how to leverage ads in a way that is not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Are you guys ready for this? Cool. I'll show you guys some of my frameworks, okay? Is this starting to make sense? Are you guys enjoying this so far? I know you guys are all ready for me to show you guys the real shiny thing, but do you guys understand how these things that you have to know about your business and understand in order for this to work? Because if you don't understand that, you're going to kill the strategy without actually knowing if something's working, okay? So we're going to start with something, okay? So whenever we're talking about micro-step marketing, okay? Micro-step marketing asks, what is the solvable problem? What are we trying to achieve, right? What are we trying to achieve? First, we have our solvable problem. how do we get that solvable problem with the least amount of risk first? I do it in this order. And my students who've been with me for a while, they understand this very, very well. It all starts with a solvable problem. Your solvable problem is if you want 10 clients, okay, cool. That's my solvable problem. I want 10 new clients in the next 90 days. Cool. I can actually, that's a problem I could solve. But so many of us are launching marketing because I ask this question a lot. Well, what do you want to achieve in the next 90 days? And people give me all kinds of weird, vague answers. And it's like, no, what is it exactly like that you want to achieve? So if it's 10 clients in the next 90 days, that's your solvable problem. And I'll show you guys how we can actually figure that out. Okay. Then I'm gonna actually show you guys how to do that with the least amount of risk, right? With less effort and more options. I'm actually gonna walk you guys through, okay? So whenever I first started my business, right? I did it all with Facebook Live. I went live, right? Because think about it, when I started my business, I'll just back up just a little bit. When I started my business, I still had my 9 to 5. Well, I worked in TV, so it wasn't quite a 9 to 5, but it was still a freaking full-time job, okay? I was making probably what a lot of people make. I was making, you know, enough to where like I was comfortable, but not enough to where I could spend $2,000 in Facebook ads. Y'all feel me? Like when you're working a full-time job and you have a regular 9 to 5 blue collar job, like no one has $2,000-$3,000 to spend on Facebook ads. Like that's just not possible, right? And so I knew that I needed to figure out how to get clients with the least amount of risk. And whenever I say the least amount of risk, I always tell my students, do not use your ad spend money for any bills that you need to pay in the next 90 days. So get your bill money out of the way, and whatever's left, that needs to be your ad spend. Because I see so many people that wreck themselves because they spend their money that they should be spending on bills on Facebook ads because an expert told them they need to run an ad to a webinar and all of this stuff. Okay. Today, we are going to learn a less risky and easier way that I think a lot of you guys are going to feel really comfortable about. Okay. So whenever I started my business, right, I had to do it with the least amount of risk. So I knew, I was like, okay, I want 5 agency clients. So if I go, now I didn't know, this was unknown, my solvable problem. I knew there was a solvable problem, but it was unknown. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make a deal with myself. I'm going to go live on Facebook for every single day for the next 90 days. I'm going to start conversations and I'm going to figure out if I go live, how many conversations am I going to have? How many of those conversations are going to lead to phone calls, right? Solvable problem. I did not have the answer, but that was the solvable problem. But I wanted to do it with the least amount of risk. So I was like, well, I can't spend money on ads. Ironically, right? Because that's what I do. That's what I did for the TV station I was working with. I was using Facebook ads in order to launch TV shows. And so I was like, cool. I went live for 90 days. I sold out my agency, booked out my agency in 90 days. I will tell you guys this, that 90-day marketing program that I have, that day-to-day thing, that is exactly what I did for myself. And I continue to do that for myself for every single 90 days. I still do this now. Have you guys noticed I still have no funnel? I'm at 7 figures and I still have no funnel. How many of you guys have noticed that? I have no funnel. Not in I have a sales page to sell a $7 program, but I have no funnel in the tradition. Like you need to opt in here to watch this training, to do this, to do this. I still do exactly what I'm teaching you guys to do today. Okay. So I got my first and second 6 figures using this strategy. By the way, it's inside the $7 program. If you go to the organic marketing sprint in the Lanyap section, that everything that I did in order to grow my business to my first and second 6 figures is in there. Okay. Less risk. I was able to quit my job. I started in April of 2018. And by November 2018, I was able to quit my job. I had reached the highly coveted 10K month, right? I don't know why we all say 10K a month, but 10K month, right? Cool, I was able to quit my job, but doing all of those 2 steps and having all these conversations, man, that's a lot of time, right? But I had to figure it out because I didn't have the money. Now I've got cash flow. I'm making 10K a month. I can afford to spend about $1,000. So now I'm going to do something that has less effort. Hello, Facebook ads. It allows us to do what we're doing organically, but with less effort, right? So that's where we come in. Once we have Facebook ads dialed in, you have more options to do YouTube and all of that. So you guys see how I followed this? Solvable problem, less risk, less effort, more options, okay? But don't be greedy with your solvable problem. Do something realistic, okay? My mentor always says that to a lot of us. Don't be greedy. Like, know exactly. Like, if you only need 5 clients a month to be able to pay all your bills, spend more time with your children, do that. And I get it. I get it. It is so tempting. I get so many people in my DMs that know enough about my business to know that I'm doing really well for myself. And I get all these DMs that people are like, you know, you could double your business. You know, you could double your clients. You know, you could double this. You could always more. Like, so many people think that more is always better. I'm sitting here on a Thursday afternoon having, you know, a little drink with you guys. I'm off tomorrow. I'm off on Saturday. I'm off on Sunday. I work on Monday, off on Tuesday, off on Wednesday, work on Thursday. I got everything I need. I'm at my goal. I don't need more, right? More, exactly. Kim says more is not always better. I started my business so that I can spend time with my family. Doing more would require me to build a team and to spend more time away from my family, getting me further away from why I started my business in the first place. Yeah, and exactly. Someone in the comments just said, but then you wouldn't be able to give us the quality that you give. This is how the high ticket sellers lose out. Absolutely. Like, a lot of people think that I created the $7 program first. The $7 program was the last thing I created. I spent, like, the $7 program is the hardest thing to sell in my entire business. If y'all can believe that, it's the hardest thing to sell. Like, people always think, oh, the $7 program. No, like, I started with my high ticket and I worked my way down, right? Now I have, like, my high ticket, my mid ticket. As a matter of fact, I haven't had to take on an agency client in the last 2.5 years because my clients stay. They haven't left. So this is how we're going to figure this out, okay? So there's a framework called CASE. Now, I'm warning you guys, a lot of you guys are doing this. You're strategizing and you're executing, okay? You're strategizing and executing. You're booking time with a coach, a business coach guru, and strategizing all of these things without doing the C and the A. Does anyone know what the C and the A stands for? So strategizing and execute. What do you think the C and the A stands for? Almost, Dr. Fortune. We're doing an order of operations. What do you need to do before you strategize and execute? Okay, I'm just going to tell you guys because you guys are sucking at giving me the answers to this, okay? You have to collect the data. What is possible for you, okay? And we go back to this solvable problem and figuring out, we have to first collect the data. Then someone got it. A is to audit. Yes. You got to collect the data, audit, then strategize, right? This is where a lot of people are getting wrecked because they're joining coaching programs and they're being taught to build a webinar funnel. And the coach is not doing these 2 first steps with them, collecting the data and auditing. So a lot of times people are doing strategies that make 0 sense for their business, like 0 sense. And so we have to figure out, okay? And so I'll actually give you guys an example, okay? So let's say our solvable problem for the next 90 days, right? We want to get 10 people into our high ticket coaching program. Okay. So cool. So we work backwards. Okay. So what do we have? What do we have to collect? Okay. This is where we collect the data, right? If I have an email list, right? And let's say we have 5,000 people email list, right? Let's say that we've been going live a while and we've got about 2,000 people who are engaged on our profile. And let's say that we have $500 to spend on ads, right? Do you think a webinar funnel is a good solution for this scenario? Do you think that a cold ad strategy is good for this scenario? No. We could probably solve this problem by creating a strategy that is going to leverage $500 in ad spend, but more than likely, we can probably run ads to our warm traffic. And we could probably fill up our 10 high ticket coaching spots with 2 steps and power content. DM the 2,000 engaged profiles. I would not do that, but I would use Facebook Lives and 2 steps. You guys see me do them, right? On my Facebook profile. Can you guys tell whenever I have seats open for a program? That's when I pull out my 2 steps, right? Have lots of conversations. If I go here and go to my profile, launching my discovery call accelerator, which by the way, we'll talk about at the end of this call. You can tell whenever I get, look, 162 comments. I do this to have conversations. That's what we're gonna talk about today, but we're gonna talk about leveraged strategies in order to do this. Okay. We're gonna talk about leveraged. Let me make sure I didn't forget anything in my notes. We are gonna stop the share and I'm actually gonna go to my whiteboard because you guys are here for the strategy, right? But this is what I wanted to show you guys before, okay? Now I will bring out the strategy because I think, are you guys ready? You guys are ready for it, right? You guys got all of that mindset stuff. Okay, cool. I'm getting a lot of thumbs up, okay? So the discovery call accelerator strategy is very, very simple. Okay, it's very simple, not easy to execute because you have to do it right. Okay, so the discovery call accelerator strategy is made up of just an application funnel. Now, this could be a landing page that just has your Calendly embed and goes to a thank you page. 2 steps, that's it. Application page, and it's made up of power content and an offer ad. Right? If you guys, I saw someone mention that they saw my interview with Joel Irway. My preference is Joel Irway's power offer ad. By far, it's my favorite. Okay. Now, first things first, right? We send cold traffic, right? This is mission number 1. It doesn't matter what strategy you're following inside the $7 program. This is always going to be strategy number 1. Now, here's where people make a mistake. And I'm not going to pick on Stephanie, but I am going to kind of pick on Stephanie. She posted a power content video a while ago, and I saw that she had made a couple, I hate to say mistakes. You guys don't make mistakes. It's just things could be better, right? Because anytime that you guys are going out of your way to put out content, we're optimizing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I tell my students. We're just optimizing. We're making things better, okay? So this is mission number 2 in my discovery call accelerator, because you should be able to book calls right here, okay? Here's the thing. Star says 2 steps are performing lower than a year ago. No, I respectfully disagree. Like, they might be performing lower because maybe the questions or maybe the engagement or the value that you're giving isn't up to par. Because remember, the whole thing has changed over the last several years. We have to up our game. we have to up our game, okay? Because you guys, I just showed you guys that two-step, right? We're at 162 comments, right? So it's the weight, and we're gonna actually talk about that. We're gonna talk about that, okay? Not saying that what you're saying is wrong, because a lot of two-steps is probably true, right? A lot of two-steps are performing lower because people aren't upping their content game, and that's what we're gonna talk about, okay? So let's start with power content, okay? Power content. Here's where so many people are going wrong, okay? You're not thinking of your power content as a funnel, okay? So we send cold traffic to our power content, okay? Here's what we have to realize, okay? Each piece of power content is a micro step. Remember, today's all about my micro step strategy, right? I do not like putting big steps in between me and my prospect. I want to have that fast path to conversations, okay? So if we have our power content, that headline, right? That headline needs to be extremely clear on who you're talking to and completely polarizing to people who are not your ideal customer. The only job, okay, follow me here, the only job of the headline is to get people to say, yes, this is me, I need to read the promise of value. The only job of the promise of value is to get people to watch this video. A lot of you guys are writing way too much copy. This ad right here is the least risky when it comes to Facebook ads, and that is why we start with power content. But it is the most profitable because this is like a funnel. Remember, because right here is a CTA for a value bomb. This is all that is included in the text copy. The video script is going to have headline, promise of value, CTA, humble brag, repeat promise of value, right? But the copy is only going to have this. As people comment, we go to that comment and say, I'm going to send you a DM. Or what I've actually been doing lately is asking a qualifying question. Then they respond, and then I move it to the DM. That is 4 comments right there, and that is knocking that power content right back to the top of the newsfeed every single time. This, if done right, will lower the cost of your ads and will create more curiosity for people to read the copy at the top. But we have to know exactly who we're talking to. Okay? We have to know exactly who we're talking to. Lynette says it's true. I stick to this framework for all of my ads and my cost per through play is like 6 cents. Yes, absolutely. Yep. But we have to learn how to do this really, really well. Okay. So we have 3 pieces of power content at $5 a day. Okay. That's less than $500 a month. Right there. This should generate clients right here. I had one client who started whenever I first launched my Lean on Laurel program. 2 days of doing this power content strategy, he had booked 6 calls and closed 2 by just doing this. All he was doing was giving away a checklist. Now, here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. This value bomb has to be something that people really freaking want. Don't just use, because I'm seeing a lot of people with the value bomb, they're just kind of giving away something as kind of a throwaway. This value bomb right here has to hurt you so much that you're giving it away for free. It has to be like, I cannot believe this person just gave me this for free. Like a lot of my value bombs that I give away are stuff from my Lean on Laurel program. People are like, wow. I'll actually give you guys an example of how I actually use this in a group, right? I used one of my value bombs in a Facebook group. One of the things that I do is because a lot of people, we were talking about quality people, right, a while ago. One of the things that I do is I pay to get access to some high level groups so that I can engage with other people. For instance, I buy a lot of $37 products that teach ad strategies. And I go in the Facebook group and I'm just helpful as hell to everyone in there. I'm not pitching anything. People are asking questions and the owner of the group is completely ignoring them. I go in, I start giving away my cheat sheets for my Lean on Laurel program. And they're like, oh, you have a coaching program? I love the fact that you just gave me this. We have a conversation in Messenger and they start telling me their problems. And I just get on the phone and send them a voice message. And I'm like, oh yeah, like just fix this and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, do you have a program where I could work with you? So a lot of you guys are always asking, well, I'm engaging in Facebook groups, but I'm not like really, getting anywhere. Up level the Facebook groups that you're hanging out in. Where are people spending money? If you have, let's say you have a fitness offer, like an exercise offer, right? Buy a whole bunch of nutrition offers and go hang out with the people who are trying to get their nutrition right? What goes well along with nutrition? Exercise, right? Where I got a lot of my first clients was like from the ClickFunnels and Kartra group, because I knew people, if they were not now, but ClickFunnels used to have like a higher quality group, but now it's just become too big. But I like to hang out where people are actually spending money, right? Like I like to gain access to these Facebook groups where people have already spent money because I know that they're already invested in their business, right? So the other day I was in, I won't mention it, a group that cost about $10,000 to be a part of. Owner of the group was completely ignoring. So they were asking the question, this particular guru teaches a webinar strategy. And the guru had just posted a new webinar YouTube training. And this person was asking for the KPIs of YouTube ads and blah, blah, blah. I just grabbed my YouTube, if this, then that, straight out of my Lean on Laurel program and just went there and literally posted it in the group for all of these people who had paid this other guru. It was a Google cheat sheet. It wasn't even a pixeled landing page or anything. I had a whole bunch of people coming into my DMs and they're like, is this part of your program or whatever? Like, how do I get in on and two Lean on Laurel clients right there? So we almost have to like get up, like, how can we add value and not worry about whether or not we're giving away our best stuff, right? Because think about it. Think about this, right? We can give away our best stuff and people are still going to pay to work with us. Because you have to think about this. Like, I've got a couple of my Lean on Laurel clients that are here on this call right now. They're sitting in on the $7 group call. They not only come to the Lean on Laurel calls, they come to the $7 call. Why? Access to me. They're not mad that I'm teaching you guys this. This is a strategy right out of Lean on Laurel. None of them are mad. They get access to me 14 times a month. They're cool. They're just coming in. They're just going to see Dr. Alex smiling right now. They're just coming because I'm cool to hang out with. Right? But that's how we have to think. Like every single day, I am thinking about ways that I can be helpful to you guys. Like this post that I did on my page, on my profile, I just had really cool, amazing conversations with people. Like that's all I do. I make it still, like a lot of people are like, I can't believe that you still do 2 steps and you still have all these conversations. Don't you want to use a bot to do that? Hell no. Conversations are still the way that I sell things. And I suck at sales. Like any of the people who've ever been sold into my Lean on Laurel program will tell you, I more than likely forgot to pitch them Lean on Laurel and I forgot to send them the link to buy during our conversation. Most people will say that. They'll chase me down and say, hey, you forgot to, just because like I am so like into like, can I actually help this person? And if we every single day wake up with that attitude and you do exactly what I'm telling you right here every day for 90 days, your business will be different. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee if you do everything that we're doing today, your business will be different. Okay. So this is mission number 1. Okay. Mission number 1, we want to book 1 or 2 calls. Okay. That's just kind of validation, okay? Mission number 1, we've got this going, okay? Mission number 2, we write a power offer. I just happen to like Joel Irway's power offer framework. That is in the program. Like if you guys go into guest trainings, me and Joel jammed on it. I'm not going to teach it today, but this is where we start validating, okay, our power offer with a $100, well, I say $100 to $120, okay? We're going to send cold traffic to our power offer. What's different about a power offer and sending people to a freebie? Does anyone know the difference? What's the difference between creating a power offer or just writing an ad and sending them to a freebie? Adam hit it. This is their pre-framed to buy. They're raising their hand saying, yes, I want this offer. When we're doing lead magnets, people are saying, yes, I want that free thing. I have no intention of buying from you. Yeah. Ibrahim, sorry if I mispronounced that. Cut through the noise, sell first, market later. This is how we validate the offer. You're going to get applications. We're expecting 1 to 2 applications per $100 spent, okay? Then, right, most of the people who are going to hit this page, they're not going to buy, or they're not going to book a call, right? We're going to send them 2 places. We're going to retarget them to our power content. And then we're going to retarget them to something I call the Hot 7 ad sequence. You guys have access to the ATM strategy, which is the first 2 ads in the program. And we are going to boost every single high value piece of content, which should be all of our content, to the people who have watched 25% of our videos or hit that application page. Now we're marketing to people who have said yes to our offer already, and we're creating an ecosystem to nurture them until they finally take action here. So Carlos just asked a really good question. He said, this strategy is ideally to a higher ticket coaching, not a lower cost group coaching. He said, sorry, I'm new at this. Oh, I see you. Hey, Carlos. Who wants to answer that for him? We're having fun. We're having fun here. I love this. How many of you guys were around whenever I used this exact same strategy to sell a lot of you guys into my $7 program? This is exactly the ad strategy I used to sell this program. Now, here's the thing, because Lynette did hit this on the head. The $7 program is the last thing I ever created. So I had the cash flow to be able to do this, but the strategy is still the same. I use this exact same strategy. If we just move this to warm, this is exactly how I sell my Lean on Laurel program too. This is how I pretty much sell everything. I tested because someone told me that I could scale faster if I did a lead magnet. It actually costed me more to acquire a lead magnet than it did for me to sell $7 tickets into this program. So, but there's a lot of different things, right? There's a lot of different steps that you have to get right. You have to get this right. You have to get this right. And Lynette will tell you. Lynette, how many times have we edited this in Lean on Laurel for you so far? She's on round 4 of this. But why am I spending so much time with Lynette getting this right? because it has everything to do with this entire thing. If we don't get this right, like as a matter of fact, in Lean on Laurel, we write this first, we launch these second. Why do I have them write out their power offer first? Because that has everything to do with the content that we're going to do here. This helps me understand that they know the who they're talking to and why that person's here. And Adam says the offer and messaging is everything. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I have just talked for about an hour. If you were interested, you guys knew where this was going to go, because I am starting the discovery call accelerator, but I gave you guys everything. I didn't dangle the carrot, right? I told you everything that you need to know about perfecting this. If you guys want a seat in the discovery call accelerator, we're going to be doing it July, August, September. As a matter of fact, we start June 27th, and it's a pay as you go. I don't make people pay for the whole like it's every month, whether you like it or not. I think I have five or six seats. That's it. Because we keep that program super, super small. But if you guys want me to help you with this, help you with the $100 test, help you with all of the retargeting ads, that's my offer. I told you guys I suck at selling. You guys either want it or you don't, right? Because think about this. I can send you to a big long sales page, right? But at this point, I'm like, you either know you want my help with this or not, like everything. But I will say this: everything that you guys need to make this work is in the $7 program. It says I am the sales page. So I've talked for a long time. I told you guys I was going to teach for 20 minutes. I ended up going an hour. Sorry. But you guys can unmute yourselves and we can have some fun here if you guys want. Oh, pricing. See, I told you guys I suck. So Lean on Laurel is $1,000 a month. 14 calls a month. We have workshops. Now here's what I'm doing different. And I'm only doing this in July, August, September. The way that I'm operating Lean on Laurel, we have 14 calls a month. It is going to be workshop style and implementation. So it's not going to be like you're going to go watch pre-recorded videos and come to a call and, I'm going to be teaching it live, helping you write it. We have a copy call with my copywriter, Lucas Rashevsky, who will check your power offer. We have copy calls. We have strategy calls. We have troubleshooting calls. We have 14 calls a month that make sure that everyone who's in the program is doing everything that they need to be doing, and to ensure that we're doing the right messaging, that we're getting the results. No, it is the same thing. We're just doing the discovery call accelerator intensive inside Lean on Laurel.
Hey Laura, what link you want me to put in this chat?
I'm gonna send actually I'm going to send, let's see. So I told you guys I'm horrible at selling. Let's see. I think we put all of the classes here. I'm going to put the link. Let me see if I. Yep. So I'm going to put the link to this page in the chat. It's got what we're going to be doing, and I have all of the workshops listed. So you can see we've got all of the workshops. Now, in addition to these workshops, you're also going to get access to my copy calls, troubleshooting calls, quick question calls. It's all me, not going to hand you off to another coach. I do have a copywriter that will check your power offer on a call. But yeah, I'll just put this link in for those of you guys who are interested. Like I said, we literally only have, it's either 5 or 6 seats left. That's it. I did a post the other day on my Facebook profile, and a couple of seats went like that. But let's jam. Let's enough talking about that offer. Do you guys have any questions? I know we covered a lot.
Hey Laura, how does the boosted post connecting back to the people that go to the application? Is that that's gonna be creating another custom audience from people that landed on that page, the application page?
Yep, absolutely. So as a matter of fact, I have like a warm stack audience that I create. Anyone who's watched any one pieces of power content, 25% or more, anyone who has been to my offer, anyone who has engaged with my Facebook page in the last 90 days, anyone who's engaged with my Instagram in the last 90 days. And so I have a warm stack. So every time I create a new piece of content on my business page, I boost it to that audience. Now, here's the thing, and this is something I was talking with Dr. Alex this morning. Anytime that I am doing a piece of content, right? Anytime that I'm going live, anytime that I am wanting to do a video, I am lazy, guys. Like, my students know this about me. I do not like doing multiple things. Like, I don't like doing any work that I don't have to do. And so anytime that I'm going live, okay, I'm either going to do it in the format of a piece of power content, because maybe I want to replace one of my top of funnel pieces of power content, or I'm going to go live and I'm going to have my power offer as my CTA so that I can use it as a retargeting ad to bring people back to the offer. So that's how I'm doing. Anytime I'm doing any live videos or any type of pre-recorded live videos, I have the mindset that I'm either going to use it for top of funnel power content, or I'm going to use it for middle of funnel retargeting. So I'm very, very strategic on the type of content that I do. And guess what? This strategy is the same for YouTube. Do the same thing for YouTube. I do power content. I do a power offer video ad. You can't boost on YouTube, but I have a video on my YouTube channel that says how I boost my YouTube videos. I basically do the same thing. Anyone who has visited my offer or watched any of my other YouTube videos, they get all my new YouTube videos. So this strategy isn't just for Facebook. As a matter of fact, it works very well for YouTube. So Jazz says, can we run 2 to 3 ads at the same time for different offers? You can, I just don't like it. That's a lot of work. Here's the thing. I love getting people on a phone call so that I can sell them what's right for them, right? And that's something that I tell my Lean on Laurel students. It's like, if you get people on a phone call, you could either sell them your super high ticket or your group coaching program. You have that flexibility based on your diagnosis on that call. But I really like to be known for one offer. That's just my preference. Like, people don't know me for my Lean on Laurel program. They know me for my $7 program. And that's cool, because that's what sets me apart, right? I built the $7 program as a high ticket, low ticket offer. I did something different. And that's something too that we didn't talk about earlier. When I created the $7 offer, there was no offers. Like, everyone was like preaching go high ticket, preaching go high ticket. And everyone told me I was dumb. No one was going to value me because of my they're like, no one's going to value you or pay for if you have the $7 coaching program. And boy, were they wrong. But now everyone's trying to launch a $7 offer. It's hard to start a $7. I'm not going to lie. Like, my offer was a unicorn offer that came at the right time at the right place. So Star says, where should you be at sales while considering a $7 offer? Multiple 6 figures. I sold 400 seats in my $7 program, doing all of this organically before I launched a single ad. I had sold 400 times. I had a lot of pixel data. I did there's a training actually in the portal that actually walks y'all through. I sold 400 seats to my $7 program first organically using Facebook Lives and 2 steps. That's it. Facebook Lives and 2 steps. Then what I did was, I had enough traffic, right? I did a retargeting campaign. Once I exhausted my retargeting audience, then I went to cold traffic. By then, I had like 800 people who had already bought the program, lots of pixel data, right? And I just created a lookalike audience of people who were engaging with my content and ran ads that way. It was a process. It was a process. I did a lot of things organically in order to set myself up, right? What we talked about today, the foundations. I built the foundations here.
So if I'm not mistaken, there's really two offers there. You've got the low ticket offer, and then you're getting them to an application to speak to you. So what about like working on the high ticket offer? Like how do you know the people that buy your kind of low ticket will be right for the high ticket, and what that high ticket should look like?
Mm-hmm. So I have a graduation framework. I set the $7 program up as a graduation program into my Lean on Laurel program. So if you guys notice, I don't really promote my Lean on Laurel program very often because of that. I want people to come to the $7 program first. So the graduation framework, like what we're doing right now, this is gonna bring some of you guys into the next step of working with me. So everything that I do is very strategic, like everything, because have you guys noticed that like in the $7 program, I don't go live other than to answer your questions in the group. I don't do all of these, workshops and stuff like in my Facebook group. Why do I not do that? Because I want you guys to go through the content. Because once you go through the content, you're like, okay, cool. I've done all of this. That's where these 2 live coaching calls come in. You guys get a taste of what it's like to work with me on a more personalized level. That's all part of my graduation framework. Now, I don't recommend that you start that way, right? Because I sold my 2 high ticket. I sold my agency this way, and I sold my 45-day accelerator, which was my first rendition of the Lean on Laurel program, this way. I didn't use ads though. I used all organic marketing. But remember how we talked solvable problem, less risk? Organic was the less risk. Once I had the cash flow, because I had a full agency, and then I had my high ticket, my $2,000 program, my 45-day accelerator. I had the cash flow to be able to automate some of this stuff with Facebook ads. So like if you're looking here, this is the high ticket funnel, right? Offer to application to book a call. We do this because guess what? Once we have 40 to 60, we're getting like 40 to 60 applications, and my client comes to me and is like, Laurel, like half of the applications aren't qualified. And once they're at 10, so I recommend this until you're at 10 to 15K a month. You should be able to generate $10,000 to $15,000 a month if you have a high ticket program just doing this. So this is like less than $1,000 in ad spend. Once we're making this, this is where the webinar goes. In between the power offer and the application, the mini webinar is going to filter those unqualified people out. But a lot of people want to do this first, but webinars are the highest types of ads. Like you're going to pay anywhere between $15 to $45 for a webinar registration. So this is a way to get some quick cash. That's why I call it the Discovery Call Accelerator. And we're building the ecosystem before we're putting a friction point, right? Webinar. It's increasing the space between you and talking to that client. So that's when you start building funnels, is when you're scaling, not when you're first starting out. Star says for the power offer, you send cold traffic to a high ticket sales page. No, application. As a matter of fact, if you have a high ticket offer, you shouldn't even have a sales page for it. Like there's no need to have a sales page for a high ticket offer. I'll let you in. I'll let you in on a little secret. Most of the time when we sell high ticket, we actually don't use sales page at all. As a matter of fact, I only made that landing page for my intensive so that people can see the dates. But what did that do? It added a friction point, because now people are looking at the dates going, ooh, I might not be able to make this. I'm not making this. I could have sent y'all straight to buy, and a lot of y'all would have bought, right? I didn't want it to be that way though. I'm cool. But what I'm saying is, the longer the sales page, the more risk you're adding that people will not buy. And that is plain fact. Like, you should be able to sell a program by just telling people the value, not introducing them to all of these bonuses and all of this stuff. Like, people should be able to buy. The more copy, the more risk you add that people will not buy. And this is how we actually test things. Like, most of the time when I sell seats into my Lean on Laurel program, it is done with a video. And then they do a 2-step. I have a conversation in Messenger. If they need to book a call, I'll get on a call with them. But most people don't even need a call. They're just ready. And that's what I'm trying to teach y'all, is like, the more that we get good at putting out really good content, you guys won't need all of the fancy stuff, bells and whistles, like just having a quick conversation. Like, a lot of times whenever I enroll like people who come for office days that are like, like $5,000 to come spend time with me, there's no sales page. I send them to a link that just says buy an office day. No phone call. They're just like, hey, can I spend time with you? Yes, here's the link, go. And then we hash out the details later. Adam says, so what should that phone call be like? Do you have no, guys are missing the point. No script outlines. Not to pick on you, Adam, but if we are good at what we do, we don't need a script. What do you sell, Adam? I see a guitar in the background. I play guitar too. That's awesome.
Singing lessons.
Oh, okay. We had a chat already, huh?
Yes, briefly.
Yes.
On Instagram. Yeah.
Your offer is what, $27?
37. It's the beginner singing course.
Mm-hmm. I would just send ads straight to this. Like, just pretend like, not to go off topic, because we were talking about discovery calls. You don't need to hop on a call to sell a $37, but just think about this. This is what you guys think about. We're simply just making an offer and retargeting and nurturing people back to the offer. That's all we're doing. Doesn't matter whether you sell low ticket, high ticket. All we're doing is giving people value. Because here's the thing. How many of you guys remember hearing the term, it takes 6 or 7 exposures for people to make a decision to buy? Anyone want to guess the time frame now that it takes people to buy a low ticket offer? Dr. Fortune knows, because I just went 67 days for a low ticket offer. It is no longer 6 or 7 exposures, right? This will compound over time, right? This will compound over time. This will give you your 67 days of exposure easily, but this will compound over time. Yeah, they said it takes way longer now. Yeah, 67 days. All we're doing, okay? Top of funnel value, right? In Adam's case, he could just send people, hey, if over the next, what's your promise for your singing lessons?
It's a 30-day program, but
no. What's your promise?
My promise is
they pay
that
you $37. What am I going to get?
you're going to get the step-by-step program that I use to transform my voice.
No. That's still, you're telling me what are you going to promise me? If I see, this is why people pay me the big bucks and lean on Laurel. What if I give me one sentence? If I give you $37, what do I get? Don't tell me the features of the program. Tell me, what am I going to get?
You'll have the confidence to sing in front of your friends.
There you go. Right. So if you just make this power offer, like in the net, how long will it take?
30 days.
Cool. If I offered that I could improve your singing voice by 70% in the next 30 days so that you could sing in front of your friends without being embarrassed, so that you could da-da-da-da-da without having to pay thousands of dollars on a singing coach. Would you take me up on that offer? Marker drop right there, right? No, I'm kidding. See, I'm a goofball, y'all. But see, that's how strong our offer. We need to get people to say yes, because think about this: if Adam goes and makes an ad, people said yes, I want to do that, but who was this yo-yo Adam? Oh, then all of a sudden they get retargeted to your power content. Oh, this Adam guy could really sing. Oh, this next video Adam is showing me how to do this. This dude is cool. I'm gonna go buy his $37 offer. Wait, what's this upsell he has? I could work directly with Adam. Hell yeah, give me that too. That's the journey that we want to give them, right? Do you see how powerful that could be by using and these ads are $5 ads. These ads are $2 ads. This one's more expensive. This one's a $10 a day ad, but this is going to be the ad that's going to draw in your ideal clients so that you can convert them with cheaper ads. Who's that cutie with you?
That's my son. His name's Uri.
He's a cutie.
Oh, thank you. It's his
Yep.
bedtime.
Well, I'm happy that we got to jam on this, Adam, because I know we were going back and forth a little bit on Instagram. Did this clear things up for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think the phone calls thing has been something I've been nervous about actually implementing, but I think it's becoming pretty clear that it's got to be part of it.
I think you have to, but you know what? If you get caught in a conversation and people are like, can I just have a quick chat with you over the phone? I would do it, because then you'll get to actually hear some of the objections that they're having and then create content, because if they're having objections about that, other people who are seeing your offer are probably going to have objections. As a matter of fact, like my first mentor, remember I told you guys I started in April, was able to quit my job in November. And I think it had a lot to do with my mentor. He made me a challenge and said, in the next 45 days, I need you to hop on 70 20-minute calls. Don't sell anything, just offer to help people with their ad strategy. But I got a lot of information about what people were thinking, because I was like, oh, wow, I never thought that people would think that, you know? And so I was able, and every call I would take notes, I would give them the call, and then they would refer their friends to me. And I mean, I promise you guys, like, if you guys follow this for 90 days and just go into it, like, for the next 90 days, I'm going to teach my heart out, not caring whether or not I'm giving away information, and just be of service to your audience. Your business will be different in 90 days.
Were you boosting all those ads all 90 days? I mean, those posts when you did the run?
Am I what?
Or did you boost those posts for the 90-day run?
I did not.
$2, $1, whatever.
So whenever I first started, my first and second 6 figures was all made organically. I did not actually start running my own ads. Now I had agency clients, right? So the $7 program was built on me doing my agency clients' ads. I still, by the time I had the $7 program, was not running ads for myself yet. I sold it 400 times before I was like, okay, cool. I have cash flow. I can run my own ads now. So Jazz said, in case, how do you audit? Yeah, it's a very good question. So in that example that I had earlier, right? If we go back here. So we have our email list of 5,000. We have our 2,000 people engaged on our profile. We have a $500 ad budget. The way that we audit this is, okay, cool. I have an email list of 5,000 people. Let me go look at my open rates. Is my email list engaged? Are they opening my emails? Are they the right fit, right? Same thing. I've got 2,000 people who are always commenting on my post and they're engaging with me. Let me go take a look at their profile and let me see if they're actually my ideal audience. So that's how we're auditing it, right? Because just because I have an email list of 2,000 people. So let's say I just skip the audit process and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a huge, like I'm going my case. I collected the data. Oh, I've got 5,000 people on an email list. Cool. I'm going to do an email campaign. And then after the email campaign comes back and you're like, wow, I sold nothing. And then you go back and then you audit and you're like, oh crap, all those email lists were from an offer that has nothing to do with my new offer. You see that? So a lot of times we're like, we're strategizing and using data that is not the right fit for what we're doing right now. Any other questions? Did you guys find today's useful? I know we kind of did things a little bit different, but I think that it's super important that you guys understand what's going on with our market, because a lot of people will tell you that Facebook ads don't work anymore. A lot of people will tell you, like start, that 2 steps don't work anymore. A lot of people will tell you that a lot of things don't work anymore, but it's not that things don't work anymore. The level of content that we need to put out and show up is different. Back in the day, like you could just do a funnel and make $1 million easy, right? And think about this too. How-to videos, everyone's doing them now. And one of the best ways that I can help my Lean on Laurel students get better at doing video is helping them create an experience for their audience versus telling their audience what they do. And the best way to let your audience experience it is to actually show them. Like I just showed you guys how to do an audit, right? I did a video, like have you guys noticed that I've been doing a lot of long form YouTube content? I've been letting you guys in a lot. Like as I'm building some of my strategy docs out for my Lean on Laurel students, I'm just turning on my camera and I'm walking you guys through why I'm building it, right? Like if you guys want to see the case like at work, go to youtube.com/The Laurel Show. And if you go to the top videos of 2022 so far, there's a playlist. Are you getting a ton of lead? Actually, this is a good one right here. How to use my Fire 4 ad sequence that nurtures leads into taking action. This I actually took from a call that I did with my Lean on Laurel students, and I just created an intro and an outro. It's the actual recording I did with my Lean on Laurel students. This same thing right here. Work together. What am I doing here? I'm letting you guys experience what it's like to work with me. One of my Lean on Laurel students, she wanted to go over her live launch strategy. I just took that part of the Zoom coaching call and streamed it on YouTube and Facebook. Right here.
And you need.
Of course, I've got ads now that my YouTube is monetized. But what I'm doing in this video is I'm actually showing you guys the aftermath of a 130K challenge ad strategy that only costs $2,000 in ad spend. So there's a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now is I'm letting you guys experience like what it's like, right? This one right here, watch me build a 90-day marketing strategy from start to finish. Like if you guys haven't checked out my YouTube channel and go into the best videos of 2022 so far, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is I'm actually taking things from the $7 program and going deeper and showing you guys how I build things. Because oh my God, I'm going hoarse. But if you can just like let people in, like here, like if you are a fitness coach, right? Let them take a peek in at one of your sessions with your clients. Let them experience the power of your coaching, right? If you are an energy healer, record your Zoom coaching call with one of your best clients where you're doing an energy block clearing or something like that. Let people experience what just happened, right? Anyone else have any questions? And Adam says, why do we not increase ad budget once things start getting profitable? That's the difference between a low ticket offer and a high ticket offer. Low ticket offer, as you scale, you spend more money. With a high ticket offer for a solopreneur, right? For someone who doesn't want to build a team and all of that stuff, the beauty is you don't need to scale. You can actually spend less money on ads. Because think about this. I'll end with this because my voice is going out. Such a good question. So the strategy that I teach in my Lean on Laurel program. Guys like how I just lean on Laurel, right? Kind of selling you there. But if we run, like, let's say that we spend $5,000 sending people to our offer, right? You don't need to, obviously. But once you start kicking in the ecosystem, right? I teach the ecosystem inside the program, and it's in the home section of the $7 program, right? If you guys understand how the ecosystem works, think about this. If we spend $5,000 over 5 months, that's going to send a massive amount of people to this offer. Our retargeting ads are going to start compounding, right? We're going to start getting high ticket sales with $2 ads and $5 ads because we've already filled our funnel with all of the traffic. Now we could slow down the traffic and start letting all the conversions happen down here. So that's how my discovery call Accelerator lowers ad spend as it optimizes. It is very different for a low ticket offer. And that's why I love doing ads for high ticket offers, because I guys told you I like lazy marketing. Doing your own ads when you have a high ticket offer and you're not wanting to scale to like $1 bazillion, super freaking easy to do because you don't have to change a lot of stuff. Like once it works, you have a couple of tweaks here and there, but it actually lowers the ad spend as it optimizes. Whereas if you have a low ticket offer, you have to keep spending and spending and spending, and actually you get diminishing returns. Not that I'm deterring anyone from low ticket offers, right? But that's just something to know, right? That when you have a low ticket offer, it's super important that you have something on the back end. Otherwise, you're going to, as you go higher in ad spend, it's going to start diminishing your return. What's the price cap to what one can make as a solopreneur? So I consider myself a solopreneur. I have my wife that does the back end, and then I've got Suzanne who worked with me in television. She actually still works in television. She works for Court TV still. And I have a three-person team. So I would consider myself a solopreneur, right? And I will be transparent. I don't make millions of dollars a year. So I hate to say that there's a price cap because I honestly didn't think that it was possible to make $30,000 a month as a solopreneur. You can do a lot as long as you're leveraged. What is your goal, Adam? Like, what is it that you like? What is your goal? Like to where like, you're like, if I do this, I can spend more time with my son and not have to worry.
Meaning like what would be that price per month where I just wouldn't have to worry about it and just like kind of let it run?
Yeah.
I guess it would be, well, I mean, we're talking about profit, right? Not just revenue.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah. So like 30,000 profit a month would do it.
So you would need more than a $37 product to make that happen.
Right. I was assuming that. I mean, I've got also private clients that I teach, but my goal is also to try to get away from that training time for money.
Yes, absolutely.
As much as possible. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like Star just had 30K Carlos just had 30K monthly. That's possible for a solopreneur. Yes. I didn't think that either. Trust me. There's a lot that you can do as long as you're leveraged. And it's super important. I cannot stress this enough. Once you get at a certain point, get a mentor. Once you get to a certain point, I would not have been able to do anything without my mentor. I've had my mentor for 3.5 years now. But 30K a month is a great goal. Yes. Yes. I had no idea that was going to be possible with my business model either. And just think, I offer 2 things. That's it. It's the same offer, it's just the way that I deliver the offer, right? Like you guys know me for ads, video marketing and ads, right? What's in my $7 program? Is it like Lean on Laurel is even less than my $7 offer? Because the Lean on Laurel is more direct strategizing, consulting, coaching, right? There's less content in Lean on Laurel than there is in the $7. Carlos just said, is the Lean on Laurel a mentorship program as well or just more intense version? No, it's not. Actually, Dr. Fortune, how would you compare Lean on Laurel to the $7? He's in Lean on
Laurel. Comparison. I mean, you have everything you need in the $7 program.
Like, I'm not withholding anything from them. I'm not withholding anything from them, correct? Like everything.
It's all in there because I can go from a call with Laurel, with Dr. Alex and I or whatever, or Lynette was on there earlier today, going to call with Laurel and then go back into the $7 program and find the details where she's put it in there already. But the difference for me is there's a difference between saying, all right, I need to figure this out, figure this out, figure this out, figure this out. And hey, Laurel, what do I do next? And she just says, do this, do this, do this. And then if you can't figure it out, come back and we'll do it together. There's a difference. That's the main difference. But you get all the root program understanding when she tells you to go do this, you know where to go, how to do it, or how to figure out how to find it, as opposed to her trying to teach me how to find where this little pieces is.
Yep, actually, like what Star said, actually getting it done. Yes. Like I will warn you, if you come into Lean on Laurel program and I see you do a piece of power content in your newsfeed and you're not following my formula, I will send you a Loom video. But no, like seriously, and the program is super small for it so that I could do that. And I built it again as a pay as you go, because like, what's the point if you guys come into my program and you don't have the ad spend to do what I need you to do, right? Like, so it doesn't make sense, you know? Cool. Any other questions about what we talked about today? We talked about a lot. Cool. You guys are quiet. So everyone is comfortable doing this, right? So someone asked, are the calls one-on-one? They're not one-on-one, but it is one-on-one conversation with me. Everyone has their turn. Everyone has their turn. It's not like, oh, you're going to sit and listen to a whole bunch. Like, no, like the calls are small, just like today, right? Everyone got some one-on-one. Everyone that wanted some one-on-one got some one-on-one attention. Yep, absolutely. I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys have any questions at all, you guys know, like drop them in the Ask Laurel. You can read if you want to ask me questions about Lean on Laurel and you're too shy right now, just reach out to me on Messenger. I'll be happy to answer anything for you guys. Like I said, Lean on Laurel, you guys have everything in the $7 program. I'm not trying to tell you guys that, you know, like I said, it's not cool to dangle carrots. I gave you guys everything that you guys need to know about this. I'm gonna put the strategy doc inside the $7 program for you guys. But just know, in the Lean on Laurel program, I will be doing an intensive on this, where we will be doing a deep dive into every single part of this strategy. You guys rock. I will see you guys in the group. Bye, guys.